All right, everybody, thanks for coming. Last game before we head down under. But before we begin, Megan has a few words for you.
Hi, everybody. First, I want to say thank you to Blacko for allowing me to do this in this way and provide this kind of space. You've been very special to me in my whole career. Well, at least since I've known you. I guess the back half of my career has been pretty long. And it's really special to be able to do this with you and have you here with me. It's with a really deep sense of peace and gratitude and excitement that I want to share with you guys. This is going to be my last season, my last World Cup and my last NWSL season. Obviously, there'll be more to come further down the road after hopefully we get done what we want to get done. But I just want to say thank you to everybody, to you guys, to Blacko, to US Soccer, to literally everyone that I've played with, all of my coaches. I could have just never imagined where this beautiful game would have taken me. I feel so honored to be able to have represented this country and this federation for so many years. It's truly been the greatest thing that I've ever done. Something I'm so grateful for. And I feel like watching Sue go through her last year, I wanted to say it before. It feels weird, to know and be settled and to sort of have to lie by omission about it. But I just want to be able to soak in every moment and, share it with teammates and friends and family and share it with the rest of the world. And I'm just really grateful to be able to do it in this way. I understand that it is incredibly rare for athletes of any stature to be able to go out in their own way, on their own terms, at the time that they want, in a way that feels really peaceful and settled for them. So I feel very grateful that I'm here and that I have the trust of this team and that my body has held up this long to be able to do this. So just wanted to do it now and honestly kind of get it out of the way before we go down to New Zealand so we can focus on the task at hand, which is winning another World Cup. So, thank you.
And with that, Vlatko will probably not be answering any questions, but he's certainly available if you have a question for Vlatko. But yeah, questions for Megan or Vlatko. Go ahead, Meg.
I mean, I don't even know where to begin, but just in terms of trying to balance the emotion of this moment with knowing that there's a game and that there's a mission tomorrow, and then knowing that you have to get on a plane tomorrow night too.
Yeah, I would have liked an extra day, but we're in a big rush. I mean, to be honest, I've been thinking about this for a long time. I think honestly, since the final whistle in Lyon, that's been sort of a question that I've been grappling with and struggling with a lot. But I think over the course of the back half of last year and in coming into this season, I've talked about it so much. I feel like I processed a lot with Sue and just her decision to retire over the last couple years. And I feel like as excited to play the rest of my career as I do to retire and to step away from this beautiful game. So again, I know that I'm really lucky to be in this position that I get to have agency over the end of this really beautiful part of my life. And so in a way, I feel like it's a little bit of borrowed time and something I feel really grateful for and really excited about. And there's sort of no distraction at hand because I know what it is to lose in a World Cup final, and I certainly don't want to do that again. So the best way that I could possibly go out is winning. And so it feels really easy to focus and easy to put my all into it and easy to be really settled and excited for what's, undoubtedly going to be the best World Cup that we've ever seen.
Kev.
Megan, congratulations on your decision and your career. A question for you and for Vlatko. You're going out with the most diverse women's national team in history with LGBTQ, mothers, ethnic diversity. How does it feel to have finally gotten the team there? And then Vlatko, a naturalized citizen coach, that kind of fits into what the whole tapestry of the U.S. is all about. Do you feel this team represents the U.S.? Thank you.
Yeah, I really do. I think that it's something that our team takes a ton of pride in and something that we've been, have really made a point to talk about and to push. And, at the very highest level, you obviously want, the best players that you can possibly get. You're not just trying to check boxes, but that comes with the youth system and from, having out players and from having more black players and, having players that have box braids that are blue and having players that have short hair and having, a diversity in the team so that young kids can actually see that, and we have that on our team. We literally have the young kids that saw it that are now on the team. And we're able to, realize their dream, or maybe they didn't always see themselves in the team. I think this team has always represented America and a sense of patriotism that kind of flips that term on its head. And we've always, I think, done an incredible job of being willing and using our platform to talk about that and to drive that and to make sure that that's something that everybody knows is incredibly important to this team. But it's also, I feel like, one of the greatest strengths that this team has is that we are all different and we celebrate that difference and we allow ourselves to be our full selves on the field so that, we can go out there and do what we love to do best. So, yeah, I don't know if you want to say anything about it.
I mean, what is it to say after this? What a great answer by Pino. Absolutely agree with everything. And all I can say is just personally for me, I'm proud to be on the helm of this team with everything that this team represents and everything that this team fights for and leads out off the field. It's just an honor to coach it.
Yeah, Megan, this is obviously something you've given a lot of thought to. At what point did you realize that this was going to be your final season? And at what point did you realize that this is how you wanted to announce that and go out?
I've known probably for like a year or something. I think just the way the cycles lined up, having this be a World Cup, being a World Cup year and, being able to be in a place, physically that I still feel like I have a lot to contribute. I think kind of at the beginning of this year sort of knew that I wanted to play the end of, through the end of this year, obviously hoping to make the World Cup team and have one last chance at that. It was really important to me and something that I really wanted. It just feels right. Feels like the right time. I have spent a lot of time thinking about it. Again, I feel, and I really know and understand how rare this is for an elite athlete to be able to have agency over the end of their career in a lot of different ways. I wanted to do it, before the World Cup. I wanted to do it on my own terms. I obviously am very thankful to U.S. Soccer and Vlatko for allowing me this sort of platform to do it on. But yeah, I did want to do it my own way, and I wanted to make sure that it was something that felt good for me and felt good for the people around me. But ultimately, it is my career, and it's my words to say, and I just wanted to make sure that I had, the moment to take time and to say what I wanted to say. And also, I wanted to do it prior to the World Cup. I think I've been asked 1,000 times, it's obviously I'm not going to be playing the next one. My God, that would be a whole scene. So it felt weird to not say it. I want to go into that last one, knowing that for myself and having that be out there. So that was important to me also.
My question is for Vlatko. How would you describe your working relationship with Kate Markgraf, the GM? And in what ways does does her job kind of impact your job in managing the team?
I mean, the relationship that we have, first I would say it's a professional relationship, but also friendship. And it started early on at the very beginning, lots of collaboration, lots of work together. And obviously she has responsibility as my boss to overlook certain things that I do. And I have responsibility as a coach to make certain decisions when it comes down to roster players. And we have very good understanding and has been great. It has worked well so far, and I have no doubt it will continue like that.
Any specifics in terms of things that she does that really help you out?
I mean, one thing that I can say one thing that I really like is just positioning certain questions in a way to help us or guide us to make certain some tough decisions. So obviously, sitting in this seat, we have to make so many tough decisions in different times, whether it's on the field or off the field. But the questions that she's posing in such a professional and respectful way help us think deeper, help us think different and outside of the box, and in a way prepare ourselves for even more stressful moments and be ready for it.
Megan, Alex Simon from Bay Area News Group. Reading isn't exactly the Bay Area, but you are Northern California. To kind of be able to be in NorCal for this match as you're making this announcement, does that maybe add a little bit more to tomorrow for you in that way?
Yeah, of course. I have 40 people coming to tomorrow's game. This is the closest that I'll ever get to play to Reading in my career. It does feel very special. It feels kind of perfect. I was hoping, to have, every single one of my family members here. My twin sister's not going to be able to be here, but she'll be down in New Zealand with us. But yeah, it means a lot to be able to do it in the Bay. I mean, it feels like a second home. I feel like, from the Bay to Sacramento up to Reading, that all feels like home. I grew up playing here and playing sort of all over this area. That's where crazy little Megan got her start. So it feels right to, say that I'm ending it here.
Megan, as you near the end of this incredible career, in 5, 10, 20 years, what will you remember most?
Jesus, Marie. Okay. What will I remember most? I think just like all the moments that are only team, in the locker room, in the mediation rooms, in the bus, in, the banquet rooms in hotels, the fun moments, the really tough moments, all those little things that nobody gets to see. Like one sticking out now is, Germany 2011 coming back in and there was tarps on the lockers, and just realizing how close you were to that, and obviously getting the chance to, win World Cups after that and needing those tarps desperately to cover up all the stuff in the lockers. I think it's just all those little moments with all of my teammates throughout the years. I think that's something that can never be replicated. There's certain things in the game that I think you just have to mourn when you walk away. I'm never going to have a moment, in that Paris stadium like I did, 4 years ago. And there's so many moments like that. I'm never going to have the locker room moments again, or, watching my teammates come back from being pregnant, or watching people, struggle and be in the depths of shit, like watching myself be in the depths of stuff, and being able to come out of it in so many ways. So I think it's all those moments, all the biggest ones that we know are like memorialized on YouTube, and those can forever be brought up. But all the little moments that we're not able to share with everyone, I think is the most special for all of us.
Last couple, go ahead.
Hi, Megan. Jackie here with Women Kick Balls. Just talking about those memories and those moments that you have, obviously, in your career from the USA and then, of course, international players that you've played with or against. What are just some of the lessons that you've learned from them, some of those players, when you think about just the lessons that you're taking away from your career?
one of the biggest lessons I learned very early on from Christine Lilly was it's hard for everybody. I think we were running, and obviously everyone knows Lil. She could run for days. She probably still outrun all of us to this day. I'm sure I was not doing very well and, complaining about how hard it was and how easy it looked for her. And she just looked me dead in my face and was like, it's hard for everyone. That's what I think. Like, it's everybody struggles in different ways. We're not all going to struggle the same, on the field, off the field, emotionally, mentally, physically, gone through injuries, tough losses, dips in form, the heights of form and feeling amazing. So I think that right there is like everybody's going through something, and always showing up and giving everything that you have. And I think demanding that of your teammates as well, knowing that you're not always going to get the best, but just that all of us are in this together. So I think that's one of the biggest lessons. I think the other thing that I've learned very, very early on is if there's 1 second on the clock, that's enough time. I've been a part of so many just incredible teams, incredible comebacks or incredible moments that never say die attitude. There's a few in the room here that know what those inter-squad scrimmages were like all those years ago. Iron sharpens iron, and that's where we learn to be cool, calm, and collected when all the cameras are on us in those big stages, is to do it every day and to bring that. You don't just show up with a championship mentality when it matters. You have to do that every day and cultivate that. So that's something that I learned, from the Kate Margraffs and the Shannon Boxes in the room, and just learning how to be a champion is every single day and every single time that you pull on the shirt and every single practice that you go to and every single session that you have on your own. That's why this team is successful.
Hi, Megan. When you reflect on the roles that you've played, either being heavily involved in, if not at the forefront of, various movements toward justice and equality and inclusion in the sport, I think maybe 4 years ago it would have been easy to think that there was one tangible, finite destination that people were working toward in terms of equality and equity. I'm wondering if you still think that's true, or if you think that part of being a woman or non-binary person who plays women's soccer involves a constant fight, and that it will always be a constant fight, that there will always be a new thing to fight for. Is that just part of the job, or do you think that there is still a place and a time at which we might reach equality?
I always believe there's a time and a place. I think it could come right now, today, if if everybody believed that. So I definitely want to make that clear. I don't want to be fighting the way that we are, and I don't think it's we don't it shouldn't be necessary, but in so many ways it is. And so I think that is very much in the fabric of the landscape around female athletics as a very inclusive term, whether it be in the W or in college basketball or the NWSL and sort of around the world. I think the goal, what I see as the goal for us is not the comparison or an arrival point, because that's just a constant comparison to men's sports, and that goalpost will just always be moved. But I think for us, it's understanding that nothing ever stays the same, and you have to be in constant motion and in constant progress. As soon as we know one thing, we have more knowledge to know something else, and then an opportunity to continue to be better, to bring more people in, to make more space for people to be their full selves. So I think that's something that's so unique and powerful about women's sports and just the landscape around women's sports. That what's happening on the field is always just as important as what's happening off. I think we have shown that we have the power to change the world in so many ways. I think we've seen the world change around us. The more that we use our voice and create space for ourselves, we're always creating space for other people also. So I think our goal, certainly obviously the the obvious markers of attendance and investment and ticket sales, all of that. But I think our ultimate mission is to just keep evolving and keep progressing and keep throwing our ladders down and bringing as many people along with us as we possibly can, because we have a very different and unique business product than anywhere that exists in the whole world. And it's really this sort of intricate web of global alliances and all different leagues and teams and sports and women all over the world. So I think that's kind of the goal, is to use this to make the world a better place. I mean, I've said that a lot. And sometimes it feels corny, but I feel like we all have a responsibility to make the world a better place in whatever way that we can be most impactful in doing that. And we have an opportunity in this sport, all of us, from you guys to us to, coaches and media people and everyone involved, to use this as our special tool to make the world a better place in some kind of way.
And with that, we will end it. Oh, please.
Thank you, everybody.